Are we on the brink of losing a key player in our quest for the playoffs? Brock Bozer has voiced his frustration over stalled contract negotiations with the Canucks, and with the trade deadline fast approaching, the stakes couldn't be higher. He's made it clear that he's open to all options, including free agency, if a deal isn't reached soon. As passionate fans, we can't help but feel the tension in the air. This could change everything for our beloved team. Make sure to hit that subscribe button and give us a like to stay on top of the latest developments surrounding the Canucks. Brock Bozer has made his feelings very clear regarding his future with the Vancouver Canucks, and it's a situation that has all of us fans on edge. He wants to stay in Vancouver, he really does. But with contract negotiations stalled, frustration is mounting, and the looming prospect of free agency is creating a cloud of uncertainty. The March 7 trade deadline is fast approaching, and the Canucks have a decision to make: re-sign Bozer or risk losing him to free agency next summer. Bozer recently spoke to Sportsnet's Ian McIntyre, and his words resonate with the loyalty we all feel for our team. He laid out the three potential outcomes: trade, re-sign, or do nothing at all. "If nothing happens and July 1st comes around, I still think I'm in a good spot," he said, hinting that he is ready to explore his options. But as fans, we have to wonder, is it really the best move for the team to let a talented player like him walk away? Now, let's talk about the Canucks' position. They're currently holding on to the second wildcard spot in the Western Conference, with 65 points and a record of 27-20-11. That's something worth celebrating. The team is in the playoff hunt, and the last thing we want is to weaken our roster by trading away a key player. But on the flip side, if they can't come to an agreement on a new contract, trading Bozer may become their only viable option. Elliotte Friedman provided some insight into the situation, emphasizing that the term of the contract is a sticking point. He stated that the Canucks don't seem eager to go beyond 5 years. So, the question arises: can they find a compromise that satisfies both sides? It's a delicate balance, and I have to admit, I'm torn on this one. Do we risk losing Bozer for nothing when he could bring so much to our playoff push? Or do we make a move that could potentially set us back? As a passionate fan, it's frustrating to see such a talented player feeling caught in the middle of business decisions. Bozer's loyalty is commendable, and I believe it reflects the kind of character we need on this team. However, it's a business, and players have to look out for their futures as well. There's an emotional aspect to this that can't be overlooked. We want players who bleed blue and green, who want to wear our colors for years to come. But at what cost? So, here we are, facing a critical moment for the franchise. If the Canucks are serious about making a playoff run, they need to act decisively. Do they bring Bozer back into the fold with a new deal, or do they consider trading him to get something in return before he potentially walks away? It's a tough choice, and as fans, we have a stake in the outcome. I want to hear from you. What do you think about this situation? Should the Canucks prioritize re-signing Bozer, or is it time to explore trade options? Honestly, I'm not sure what the best decision is. The stakes are high, and our hopes for a successful playoff run hang in the balance. The Vancouver Canucks are at a critical juncture as we approach the March 7 trade deadline, and Brock Bozer's latest comments on contract negotiations have stirred the pot. Bozer called the talks frustrating, and as a fan, I'm left wondering what that means for his future in Vancouver. He's a key player, and his potential departure could have significant ramifications for the team. Do you think this was the best decision by management to let negotiations drag on? Honestly, I'm torn. While the Canucks are trying to find their footing this season, with a mix of highs and lows, the ongoing uncertainty surrounding Bozer adds another layer of complexity. We've seen flashes of brilliance from him, and losing a player of his caliber would be a blow to our offense. It's tough to see a homegrown talent struggle through contract talks, and it raises questions about how committed the front office is to building a competitive team around him. And then there's the trade chatter. With the deadline looming, could Bozer be a piece that gets moved? It's a risky gamble. Sure, a trade could bring back young talent or draft picks, but can we afford to lose another key player when we're already navigating a tricky season? The fan base is understandably anxious. On the other hand, the decision to explore trades might be a sign of a broader strategy. If management feels that a rebuild is on the horizon, they could be looking to leverage Bozer's value while they still can. But here's the thing. With a franchise that struggled to find consistent success, How many more rebuilds can we endure? Looking at the current roster, we have some promising young players who are starting to make their mark. The return of Quinn Hughes from injury was a huge boost against the Kings, and he showed why he's such an essential part of our defense. He contributed right away, assisting on the game-winning goal, reminding us all of his playmaking ability. His presence can't be understated, especially as we try to find our rhythm in a competitive Western Conference. And then there's the question of how to build around our core. The Canucks have some intriguing prospects, and if we're in the market for trades, it's crucial that management picks the right pieces to bring in. We need players who can complement our existing stars and help elevate the squad. It's a delicate balancing act, one that requires foresight and a clear vision for the future. As we watch other teams make bold moves, it's hard not to feel a sense of urgency. The Jets are on a franchise record-winning streak, and the pressure is on for the Canucks to keep pace. We can't afford to fall behind in the race, especially with the playoffs around the corner. So, what's the plan? Are we gearing up for a run, or is this more about setting ourselves up for the future? I want to hear your thoughts on this. Are you optimistic about the direction the team is heading? With all the uncertainty and the injuries we've faced, it's a lot to digest. I'm sure many of you feel the same way. It's a roller coaster, and as passionate fans, we must stay engaged and hold the front office accountable for their decisions. Now, looking ahead, the upcoming games are pivotal. We need our key players to step up, especially with the looming presence of the trade deadline. It's not just about winning games. It's about establishing a culture of resilience and determination. That's what we need to see from our players. Compete for 60 minutes every night, regardless of the circumstances. And you, what do you think? Will Bozer be in a Canucks jersey by the end of the month? Are we on the right path, or are we merely treading water? I want to hear your opinions down below. If you're enjoying this discussion and want to stay updated on all things Vancouver Canucks, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to this channel. Activate the notification bell to get all the latest updates as we navigate through this exciting, albeit uncertain time for our beloved team. Let's keep the conversation going!